Hi, Vince Oldry, Certified Financial Planner with the Assured Retirement Group, and thank you for watching another video. I want to talk to you about an article that we just published in Investopedia, and it was also featured on NASDAQ, and that is, do you still need life insurance when you are retired? Now you might feel like you have all your debts paid off and you may not need life insurance anymore, but before you go and cancel your policy, you have to understand a few things. Number one is that the policy that you have today could be a lot less expensive than if you need to get one later on in life. Number two, see if there are some other needs for that life insurance policy. And by asking some of these questions or going through some of these questions, you might find that you might want to keep that life insurance policy. As you get older, it's a lot more expensive to get a new policy, and it's a lot harder to get because you might have had some health problems in the past that actually might make it really hard for you to get a new policy. So here are some things to look at. Number one, always think about your spouse, right? Is your spouse going to be taken care of? Meaning, does she have enough income in retirement if you're no longer here? If you realize that between the Social Security, pension income, and whatever else you have that's going to be there for her when you are no longer here, then you may not need the life insurance policy if she's covered. But if she's not, that life insurance policy could be very crucial to your spouse. The next thing you need to ask is, do you want to make sure you leave a legacy behind? Do you want to leave money to your beneficiaries or to your nieces, your daughter, or son, or grandkids, or charity even? If you do, there might be another good fit for life insurance. If not, well, you may not need life insurance. Another one that we want to ask is, do you have estate tax issues? Now in Minnesota, currently if you have over $1.8 million in your estate, you will have estate taxes. Federally, it's about $5.5 million, so if you have more than $5.5 million in your estate, you will also have estate tax issues. And sometimes that life insurance policy can help pay for those taxes. Now keep in mind, life insurance is not estate tax free, it's just income tax free. But again, that might be helpful to pay for some of those taxes. The other thing you want to ask is, have you thought about what long-term care expenses might look like? Long-term care may or may not happen in your life, but if you have a life insurance policy, you want to look at if that policy has a long-term care rider or benefit to it. If it does, now you have long-term care insurance covered. If you are no longer here and you had to use all that money that you saved to cover long-term care, that's where life insurance might come in, so that when you're no longer here, that life insurance policy can kick in and give income to your spouse or to your loved ones that you want to make sure you left some money behind. Lastly, do you have your burial expenses covered? Now a lot of people that are in or near retirement are already starting to look at where they might be buried and what those expenses might look like, and they're already starting to pay for those expenses. As long as you're okay with making sure that you don't have any money left over when you're no longer here, you do have to think about how much money is there to cover to pay for your burial expenses. And sometimes it can cost between $10,000 to $20,000 depending on how elaborate your burial ceremony is. Now these are just a few questions. I named 5 questions here today. If you do have any questions about your own life insurance policy, feel free to email me at vincent.oldry@assuredretirementgroup.com or come to one of our events. And you can go to our events page and make sure you can come to one of our events, and we'll talk about life insurance, and you can meet me there and decide whether or not you may or may not need life insurance anymore. Until then, I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.